My name is John Simmons. I'm here from the Rhode Island Public Expenditure Council. We are here neither supporting nor opposed to the legislation that's before you, but I do want to talk about H 7734 as well as the companion bill 7845, if I may. And here, our concerns on the proposal is not necessarily the need for the DOT work. We all agree to that, having been on the DOT Blue Ribbon panel. It is obvious that we do need to have the renovations that are talked about, all of the positive things that you have heard to date, but the needs that we have and how to fulfill the needs. Our concern is in how do you finance it and how do you fund it. What has not been well discussed today is the tax, the gross receipts tax on the petroleum-based products. Here we are is our concern. Do we know what the tax incident of the tax is? Who will be paying for it? What is the ultimate payer of the tax? Is there tax equity to it? No analysis has been done, short of the little bit of work that was done in the Blue Ribbon panel on the tax receipt, on the gross receipts tax. It would institute a new tax within Rhode Island. I have a copy of our tax report that we prepared back in April showing that Rhode Island right now is, depending upon how you want to use it, it's 15th highest on a per 1,000 of income. We're the 11th or 12th highest on a per capita. According to the Tax Foundation, we're the 10th highest in the country for taxation. If you look at our business component tax, and this is what we're talking about, we're not talking about an income tax or any other changes. We're talking about an increase in business taxes. We are the 11th highest in the state, in the country right now. We have about 5.7% of our gross state product is taken away by taxes off of businesses. This would add, as we understand the analysis, is $44 million, additional business taxes. Right now, the corporate tax is a little over $100 million. You'd be adding around $44 million off of $100 million in a corporate tax. The overall business tax in Rhode Island is a little over $300 million. You'd be adding on another 10% business taxes. At this time, we do not think that it is the most appropriate approach to take for business taxes. The second part of the bill that causes us some concern in hearing the testimony, we all talk about the borrowing that occurs every other year to provide the match for federal funding. This bill does not address that particularly and specifically. All it does is put funding into varying pots through statewide planning, which is a little bit unusual of approach. The funding doesn't go to DOT to provide the federal match. It just goes to DOT. You still have not negated the fundamental issue that we have, and that is the borrowing in anticipation or borrowing to match the federal funding. And you'll see in that Blue Ribbon panel study, pretty soon that debt service will exceed the gas tax. So we all agree that there's a need for a funding mechanism for this, to which I then would go to the next bill, 7845.
Mr. Simmons, we're going to, if I could just interrupt for a second, we're going to hear that bill. So if I could have you hold that testimony for that bill, if you don't mind.
Okay. Then I will end it by saying is, as opposed to using the receipts tax to analyze other ways of providing revenue, such as the study committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I just have a question based on what you said, that this is a new tax on businesses, and that's, we'd be looking to replace the bonding with this, right?
That is not what's in the legislation. The legislation does not put the funding to pay off the bonding. It puts money into DOT. There is no relationship nexus between the tax and paying of the debt, as I read the bill.
Okay. I didn't understand it that way. I think I see what you're saying.
I think
we could continue to bond.
The discussion has been that that's a natural process,
Right.
but it's not in the bill.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Are there any questions from the